All right, you guys. I am Kurt Clendenin here with the Kapow Intergalactic Film Festival 2021. This is the 5th anniversary. We are here with the band Dinner and Whiskey next week. The director of this music video is Yann Giroud. Now, how long have you guys been together? How long has your band been together?
2017, we officially formed. We've met beforehand, I think 2016. We've been jamming since, and we came down with a couple of tracks that we thought were kind of solid at the time for our level and just what we appreciated doing at the time. And we decided to put a name on it, and that's where the adventure began.
How did you guys find each other? I'm always interested in hearing how the bands magnetize.
Music school. Yeah. We played. I'm from another part in Switzerland, and I came to the school and met the two guitarists there, and singers, guitarist, and guitarist, and we just jammed together. And yeah, we were at the same music school, and fun.
It must have been cool. Did you have a lot of resources there to be able to
I tend to say not, because we didn't have so many occasions to use all the facilities. There were many projects, many bands, many students for a very, very small school. So it was always a race against whomever wanted to get the room before us. So
yeah, but in the end, it's better than nothing. Because
I mean, the fact that it was a challenging also made the moments when we were actually rehearsing even more so productive.
Yeah, that's true.
So I mean, it's a loss for a win in the end.
Yeah. So what are some of your various influences? That's something that's always exciting to me, because there are those Venn diagrams. There are those times where they match up, like, oh, I like Radiohead, you like Radiohead, cool, but then you got that one guy in the band who might just totally love country music, but he's in the band anyway. So what are some of your influences?
So you just talked about Radiohead, and that's clearly one of the reference we share.
Yeah.
Then there's some more metalish art stuff. He's from Karen. He likes like steak.
And I'm from more the 60s and the cream stuff and 60s, 70s classic rock, psychedelic.
So we have metal, 60s rock, and rock prog like Pink Floyd and stuff.
You guys, that's so exciting. I was just listening to Cream yesterday, actually. I just found out about this crazy drummer that used to be in Cream called Ginger Baker. I guess he's like a total madman. And there's this documentary that's out about him. So I'm now going into that, into that realm of things. So that's crazy that you brought up Cream. So that's what's so cool, is that each of you guys bring your influences and together, like Voltron. Did you guys ever see that cartoon Voltron? Where it's like a whole series of, it's like, they come together to make one big robot. So you got one person who's like the robot arm, and then the robot arm that goes, it comes together one robot. So that's kind of like what you guys are, right? You each have your specialties, and you've come together as this one, this one machine.
Yes.
So now, did you guys? I want to talk about your music video here, which is just really, really cool. We're, for the purposes, well, I'm gonna mute myself. It's fucking with a robot, but you guys. Did you all have the idea as to how you wanted it to be, or Yann, was that maybe in your imagination? How did you guys work with that? How did that happen?
Well, we soon discovered we were big on science fiction. Like these guys, over especially Asimov and Philip K. Dick and Bradbury, lots of literature, and yeah, like from the point that was mentioned. Just all the music I heard from them, there was this kind of sci-fi element to it. I could see big armies of spaceships, and just this whole universe kind of got created with their music, and just this little tiny spark of direction, like go that way, go science fiction way, and then it just all evolved from there. Just talking and
we talked a lot, and it's like share this passion for sci-fi and maybe a bit of dystopian.
Yeah, there's a lot of dystopia. It has been a recurring theme in even because we're working on a new album, so it's a very common recurring theme on the new material we're working on also. So yeah, dystopia is definitely one of those keywords up there.
Are you guys like big into the dystopian sci-fi novels and stuff, you know, the post-apocalyptic time, like maybe I'm imagining like Mad Max, you know, where it's just like out there, it's just the desert, you know.
Everything in between also, because we're closer to 1984 than I presume we've ever been before. And it's not quite Mad Max yet, but perhaps in the making. I mean, but for now, it's definitely 1984-ish.
Absolutely. You know, it's so interesting. At the beginning of this pandemic, I rewatched 1984, and then I saw V for Vendetta, and back to back, those are great movies. And you start seeing the parallels between them big time. It's crazy how Winston, I think that's his character's name, in 1984, he's actually the big face on the screen in V for Vendetta. So it's cool. He goes from being the guy who's like, you know, knowing what's going on behind the scenes to actually being the dude who's up on the screen in front of everyone. It's really interesting. It's almost like they're like it's an unofficial sequel in some strange, you know, parallel universe. It was really cool. So there's a band that was out back in the day called Ned's Atomic Dustbin. Were you guys ever a fan of that band? Ned's Atomic Dustbin? Well, they had a song called Kill Your Television. Kill your television. And so when I saw your guys' music video, it kind of reminded me of that similar theme of like kill your television. Because like, okay, these were some of the things that I got out of it. So you got this guy who is, and by the way, I love your music video. It's very much a short film, really. It's like a silent film. It's a short silent film. And it really, the music takes you through this really great journey. And I can see why, you know, you're saying, Yann, how, you know, you get these ideas of science fiction. It really opens up your world, especially since you guys don't have words in the music. It allows the viewer their imagination to travel. So what's interesting about that, your video, is I felt like the guy sitting in the chair was a symbolic representation of kind of a mainstream media, kind of the everyday kind of populist people, the people who are still sort of asleep, you know, and he's just, you know, you are what you eat type of thing. So he's eating junk, he's watching junk, he's just, his apartment is junk, and he's just this perpetuating, you know, precipitation of just this, he's consuming the exact crap that's on the screen. And what's interesting is when does he die? Does he not die? Does he click over into a parallel universe? Does he, you know, we don't know. Does he astral travel? But at that moment, when he goes over to this world of just, ooh, there's freshness out there. There's openness. There's nature out there. It's like he's actually getting back to himself. And what's interesting is, because I'm fascinated with all the fringe theories, out of body experiences, near-death experiences, all that great stuff, UFOs, all that great stuff. So that's kind of the lens that I'm kind of looking at media through when I watch media. And so I saw a lot of these kinds of parallels in what you guys were doing. Is any of what I described kind of even within the realm of what you're intending the viewer to get out of that?
Definitely.
Yeah,
It's like this. Yes, I mean that's exactly what we wanted to create. We didn't want to go too much political, you know, like and make it not so obvious that there's some message of so our actor being like this. But yeah, no, clearly that's what you said, absolutely. Like,
it was really interesting because like there's that phrase showing without telling, and you guys actually showed like you're not, but there's no preaching in any, you know, there's nothing preachy about what you're doing. And yet what's crazy is that you can associate with a lot of what's going on in the video. You know, it's like, it's an obvious, you're going, okay, look through this lens. This is kind of what's going on right now in society. And I think what's cool is that, like back in the olden days, like back in the medieval times, they had the bard, you know, the bards, they would play the music about the crazy kings and the strange wars that went on. And so you guys are kind of like the bards of, of the modern age, it seems. Great job acting, by the way, in that video, man. You know, that's when you're the only guy, you know, when you're the only actor and it's like on your shoulders, dude, you know, that's like very admirable. What kind of, so Yann, what kind of directions did you, what did you guys discuss to be able to get him into that mind space?
Well,
Shave your head.
the idea was
The first thing was
to
shave your
forget,
head.
Shave my head, yes.
and a lot of
Shave it.
popcorn. I think you haven't eaten popcorn since.
No, since no, I can't. No more popcorn for me.
So once you shaved your head, did you feel like, okay, I'm completely in character right now?
Somewhat, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that's helped me.
I think
Yeah, really.
it took the car ride in to Geneva to get him really in character. Then he was like, okay, fuck it, now we can.
I am the character.
I am the character.
I am the character. It's like when you see those movies where it's like Tom Hanks is Forrest Gump, it's like you are the character.
Robert, he's talking about.
I'm sorry, I cut you off. What were you saying? I cut you off. You were
Sorry?
saying something. I cut you off, and you were in the middle of saying something.
No, it's exactly what you said. I am the character, like Forrest Gump is Nanseki. Is Forrest Gump, for example, yes.
So, and what's your name, sir? The actor of the what's your name? Robert.
Yeah.
So, Robert, what kind of when these guys approached you about doing the music video, what kind of images did you have in your brain when you were listening to the music?
Did you listen to the music?
Of course. Something dark.
Something dark.
Yeah. Really dark.
So you worked from that place.
Exactly.
Just like, okay, darkness.
Yes.
And then Yann, okay, did all of you guys, I have a feeling that all of you pretty much probably added your own seasons and pepperings in there, right? Your own ideas as to what should be in the video?
Definitely.
Yeah, for me, not a lot for me, but
He's the drummer.
I'm the drummer. The only talent I got is to eat things.
He's the drummer. Yeah, the poor drummers. They're the first ones, to start setting up, and the last ones to leave. Right? They're the guys who got all these pieces.
Is that Dougie from Twin Peaks behind you?
Well, yes, it is. Dougie Jones, the none other. Yeah, Dougie Jones.
A big influence, that David Lynch and Terry Gilliam. Yeah, but David Lynch and Twin Peaks, the third season there, it's just.
Oh my
I was
God!
just coming out of that just as we made the film. It's really good.
So right when you guys made the music video is when Twin Peaks season 3 came out. Is that what you said?
No, I just watched it. Yeah. So
you just watched it?
Lynch and vibe. And, yeah. It just,
Oh my God, man! Yeah. Terry Gilliam and David Lynch, those guys, man, they're like the modern day surrealists. We might not have Salvador Dali anymore, but we got those guys. So I'm glad that they're out there creating art and expanding our consciousness. So do you guys have an album or a couple albums, or where can people find your music?
So now we got our first EP on like every streaming platform available, Apple Music, Spotify. And we got our official first album who's coming out, our second album, but real long album with 10 songs.
Which is
11
now. Yeah.
which is gonna be released in maybe 1 month.
In maybe like 1 month or 2.
Oh, that's great.
We're not very good with deadlines, so let's say between now and about 4 months.
Yeah.
That's it.
Let's be realists. I mean, it's fucking Corona time. They're hardening the crossings towards Switzerland and France. Me being the only French dickhead in the middle of all of us, and them not necessarily being able to cross the border. So that's
for work,
it's been the pattern that has been recurring throughout the whole 2020 or so period, where
so basically to work on this album we have to go to work together.
Sometimes
and it's not so
we have
easy
to be
right
illegals.
now. Yeah, we have to cross the borders and stuff, but I think it's going to be released pretty soon.
We have to cross the borders. I'm imagining like you're climbing fences, you're crawling through tunnels,
The only fences are moral fences.
Wow. Wow.
But sometimes they wear
Thanks,
blue
Aaron.
and they hold sticks and sometimes guns. But let's not say anything more.
Yeah, I'm imagining those watchtowers where they got the spotlight, you know, and there's a guy up there with his rifle looking for people.
No.
So
We're slightly more civilized here. I'm sorry.
They throw cheese at us.
So you guys, I noticed that on your Facebook page, you guys were actually able to. Did you guys do that through Zoom or something? You had you guys were split up into squares, and were you guys in different locations? Were you in the same location? How'd you do that?
We were in different locations, and I worked my magic with placing us in every corner of the video, and it's
He knows how to use the computer.
Yeah.
Well, so he knows how to use the computer. So are you the editor? So are you the one who's like editing all the editing the music videos together?
Nah, it's mostly Yann, but I give him
The big ones for the video clips is Yann, as there's a lot of positive influence and knowledge coming from Giulio also, and from tryouts here and there.
Yeah, it's like
but for all the more meta aspects of the page is all him. Is all on him. He knows how to do funny edits and cuts and just turn an everyday normal situation into something apparently comical.
Well, what's cool about it is like how it goes, disconnected, like the camera's disconnected and then it reconnects and you're in a completely different area, different with a different instrument. And I really like that. Now I'm thinking here you guys are telling me that you have to get together to make your album, but I saw the video where you guys made music, in different locations. So what if you were to finish up your album that way? What if you were to be able to, if you got your own recording equipment at home and stuff, like, you could just put the album together that way.
Just it's that's more of a human approach. Is that if for this album, if we're together in the same room listening to it, there's some magic happening.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's very difficult to do through a screen.
And we are together and we can create like on real time together. We could do that on Zoom, of course, but being with the friends, we are best friends, and it's just fun to be together and being like 10 hours in the same room with our sound engineer, and just working that album, doing backing, stuff like that.
Yeah, like back in the day, they would record a lot of their albums just in the same room, and that energy and that magic is really captured in that room because you get into that groove, you get into that zone, and I can definitely see how some of that magic can deteriorate, through just. Okay, this person's recording the guitars. Okay, now let's go over here. Now you record the bass. But when you're all together, is that how many songs do you guys have recorded so far for this new album?
11.
11, yeah.
11. And so they're already done, or you're still recording them?
They're all done. Now it's in the mixing process.
Yeah, and we began to record in January 2020.
Yeah, we started recording a year ago.
And we began by the drums and. Quite very fast process.
The drums.
and afterwards, all the different instruments, bass, guitar.
But then Corona vocals. Mostly happened.
Then Corona mostly happened, definitely.
Sadly, it's something that did put a stick in our wheels for a bit.
Well, but what's interesting about this lockdown, I think it has forced people to be creative, rather than going, oh, I wish it was this way, I wish it was that way, I wish I could do this. They're going, okay, what can I do? What do I have available to me? And let me just start from there. Let me just start creating from there. And I've noticed a lot of people actually be very prolific during this time, believe it or not. Yeah, you got the people who are depressed and they're sad and they don't know what to do with themselves. But then you got the people too who have, written a novel or made an album or, shot in some short films. And they're like, okay, well, you know what? I guess this movie is taking place in my house, and so you just have to go from there.
That's true.
So how many different locations did you guys have for your Fucking with the Robot music video? How many different locations? We know you had the apartment, basically. You had the outside. Was the outside all in one location or different places?
All in one, yeah. all in. We live by this big mountain called the Giroud, and it's like over the city. You know, like we're like in a valley, kind of, and surrounded by the mountains, and it's just on the top of the mountain, basically. And we went there and we didn't warn the actor and that it was the mountain day, and he went there with like tiny shoes, you know.
Oh no!
It was the first video clip, to be fair.
It was the first.
It was the first video clip. We were learning on the spot, and he had to be one of the victims.
Oh my gosh! So Robert, you were out there. You were just not prepared for? I mean, was it a big climb or?
Absolutely not.
Climb.
Absolutely not.
I'm sorry.
No. I said to Yann, the mountain is tomorrow. No, it's today. Okay. Let's go.
Yeah. So he was so cute with the
a true trooper.
But actually, it was very fun. Very nice.
Well, you guys, the fact that you have such a lightheartedness about the whole thing, it's like, that's something that I've noticed is missing from a lot of bands. The idea of the lightheartedness, the, laughing with each other, joking about stuff, accepting in the absurdity. And, the fact that you guys just embrace the entire absurd situation of, poor Robert walking up there, not being prepared and dealing with it. This, every great independent artist, who's made films has gone through these things, everyone, that's how you get your, it's how you get your stripes, like in the military. So now you got these cool stories to share with people. Like, oh yeah, here's behind the scenes of what happened here. So how long did it take for you guys to walk up that mountain and shoot that stuff? Was that like hours and hours? Did it take you a few minutes just to shoot some of that stuff, or how did that work?
All the day.
Yeah, all day. Well, we had to trek up also. That was a part of the thing. You couldn't get to where we were going by car. So we had to drive up and like walk for like 3 hours with all the equipment, and then we lost the drone. And
oh, dude, I nearly spit my coffee out my nose. Hold on, it was a 3 hour walk. Oh my God, I was not expecting that. Dude. My coffee almost came out of my nose, dude. Okay, yeah, a 3 hour walk. Oh my God, you guys. No wonder poor Robert's out there totally not prepared. I wasn't prepared to hear you say that. So certainly he wasn't prepared to do it. 3 hour walk. Oh my God. So did you already scout the location and you're like, okay, this is the perfect spot, but in order to get there, we got to walk 3 hours. Did you already go there beforehand, or were you like, well, let's just hoof it up there and see where we go?
Exactly.
No, the spot.
Yeah, I went and scouted beforehand.
You scouted it. A 3 hour walk. Oh my God.
I mean, he had another
video clip.
Let's not talk about that.
I think the first time he told me it was gonna be like 3 hours.
It was the morning.
I told him, yeah, Yann, I mean, there's a park near my house.
Oh my God, that's great. Yeah, you're thinking like, okay, maybe Yann, maybe we should just have a green screen and sort of like make it look like he's out there. Yeah, it's so Yann, when you got a vision, you got to follow it, right? It's like same stuff happens with David Lynch.
Working with him too. This is why we fucking love working with him too, because at least there's an already proper painted picture, and you just have to be. You just got to add yourself to the whole mess of it, and it's beautiful because having direction is such a key element to just being productive on the spot.
Oh yeah.
He definitely brings that to the whole vibe, of the band and the projects as a general, which is great. I mean, you don't usually stumble upon that many people in such a short amount of time that are so willing to be there in many aspects of your main project. I mean, this has been our dream forever, ever since we met each other and way beforehand. And I mean, for the past 6 months to a year now, there's so many new people who are so eager to just lend a helping hand and just really be appreciative and committed and helpful. And it's fucking wonderful. If I may, then thank you very much to everybody that's actually helping us out, because you're doing a tremendous job, even mentally, psychically, because I mean, it's such a shitty situation. Just having people saying, like, from time to time, like, I appreciate and I hear what you do and I can see the efforts, and it's just making a full-on difference.
Yeah.
And
Definitely.
Like you guys.
yeah, I mean, wow, like, it's amazing to think that we're here around in Geneva and you're all across the globe. And
I know, isn't it beautiful that this whole thing is possible?
It's amazing. It's 8 p.m. now for us, and I don't know, 11 or whatever.
Incredible. 8 p.m. where you guys are at. That's amazing. Well, I think what's so cool is the fact that you guys do have this spirit of willingness to improvise and go, oh, well, let's see if we go in this direction. Let's keep exploring there. Oh, what if we go here? What if we explore there? These are the marks of visionaries. This is what makes a visionary. It's the people who are going, all right, I see this vision. Let's move towards this vision. And especially that takes bravery and courage for many people to go, well, okay, I'm going to try something that I've never tried before. Usually people are falling into trend following. Once they see that something works, then they're like, oh, let's follow that trend. That seems to be going somewhere. Okay, that seems to be a safe path. But it's the true visionaries that are carving their own paths. And, when you got someone like Yann, that you're all willing to go, okay, Yann, you know what? I don't care if it's 3 hour tour. We're following your vision, dude, because we know there's going to be some golden nuggets that we're going to find out of this thing. Dude, I got to say, those shots were worth it, man. I'm glad you guys hiked up that mountain. Those shots were worth it, man.
It definitely worth it.
He got us with the first try, like how many, usually it takes 4 or 5 tries to create an artistic aspect that will suit the client. Or there in the first one, we were like, okay, we can definitely work on that.
That is cool. Well, Yann, I hope that you feel that I feel Yann is actually a part of the band. He's the unofficial member. Now, Yann, do you play any music? Do you play any instruments?
I do. I'm a drummer.
Oh, cool.
I drum.
Cool. Have you guys ever shared a drum off? You guys done a?
No, not yet. Not yet. But I live really in another part of Switzerland, like more countryside-ish, from like 2 hours by train from Geneva. So that's some of my best friends, but I don't see them quite often, sadly. And I live in Berlin actually now, but
so no drummer.
No drummer now yet.
Well, you guys are awesome, man. I had so much talking with you guys. I got to get ready for my next interview here, but man, thank you guys so much for talking.
Thank you.
Once again, Kapow IFF 2021. We were talking here with Dinner and Whiskey next week. Which, by the way, let me just ask you guys real quick: where did you get that idea for your name of your band? How did that pop up in your brain?
So that's Kieran's job. Explain, Kieran.
It's I'm still working on how to make it sound better than what it is. But basically,
we like dinner, we like whiskey.
But I was just inviting a friend for breakfast and a beer. And she said, no, let's have dinner and whiskey next week, rather. And I'm like, okay, dinner and whiskey. And my mind just went to acronyms, and then went next week, and it just made Dawn.
Yeah.
Like aesthetically, having Dawn written in big letters with a dot and a W.
Oh, yeah.
Small. And as the name of our first EP is, the W is silence. Basically, with dinner and whiskey, and our acronym is Dawn.
Oh, that's great. I love it. You never know how inspiration's going to strike you. You just never know. It might be in a cloud. It might be in a word you hear someone say. I mean, it's just great, man. You guys are visionaries, and I can't wait to see how things evolve for you guys. And I can't wait to share this.
We worked on a second video clip now.
Yeah, something's going to happen soon.
You're already working on a second one. Oh my God, that's really, really cool. When are you guys going to release that one?
Very soon.
Oh, cool.
A month
again. Take that lightly.
Sometime before 2022, right?
Yeah. Definitely. And thank you very much for your
dude,
support.
Thank you guys for hanging out, and
it means a lot we've from a shithole, and to have the occasion to do that, it's amazing for us.
Oh my God.
We wish we could come to you guys.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Well, you'll be able to.
We'll reply for next year with even better material.
Next time in America.
Yeah.
I love it. All right, you guys. Well, you take care and have a good night, and we'll talk to you later.
Take care.
Thank you very much.
All right,
Thank you very much.
Bye.